All right, everyone, ready for another deep dive. Today we're exploring something, well, a bit tingling.
Tingling, huh? Interesting way to put it.
Well, we're looking at this meditation technique from the Vigyan Bhairava Tantra. It's called, get this, sensing the tingling of life force.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Vigyan Bhairava Tantra, that's a whole world of exploration in itself.
It is. And we've got this fascinating podcast conversation about this specific technique. That's what we'll be diving into today, pulling out the good stuff.
Sounds like a plan. What's the gist? Why all this tingling business?
It's about tapping into subtle energies within the body. Imagine like feeling a shiver of excitement or those chills you get. That sort of energy, but focused and along the spine.
Ah, I see. We're getting into that territory of prana and energy flow, the kind of stuff that's often felt but hard to put into words.
Exactly. So to kick things off, the podcast starts with the basics. Finding a quiet space, getting comfortable.
Right, set the scene. Essential for any meditation, really.
Absolutely. Comfortable, upright posture, spine straight, eyes closed. All pretty familiar stuff, I'd imagine, for most folks tuning in.
Yeah, should be familiar territory. A foundation for going deeper.
And then the real work begins. This is where we get to the tingling part. You focus your attention on your spine. Just notice, without judgment, any subtle sensations there.
So we're talking about a gentle vibration, maybe a feeling of warmth, or could it be something else entirely?
It could be. They even mention a sensation of energy, like a flow moving upwards along the spine. But now I can already hear some folks saying, hold on, I don't feel anything. Am I doing it wrong?
It's a common question, and honestly, feeling nothing at first is perfectly normal. It takes practice, like anything else.
That's what the podcast emphasizes too. They actually suggest using visualization if you're not feeling those subtle sensations right away.
Visualization, that's a great tool. How would they recommend visualizing this tingling, this life force?
Imagine a warm, glowing current of energy. See it gently rising up your spine, like a soft internal sunrise.
Beautiful imagery. I can see how that would help focus the attention and maybe even prime the pump, so to speak.
And the idea is, with consistent practice, you'll start to actually feel those subtle energies more and more vividly.
This reminds me of something. You mentioned prana earlier. How does prana tie into all of this?
That's a key connection. The podcast describes this tingling as a manifestation of prana, that vital life force energy.
Prana, the driving force behind everything, the energy that animates all living beings. It's a concept found in yoga, Ayurveda, all sorts of traditions.
Right. And they're saying by focusing on this tingling sensation, you're actually activating and harmonizing your prana.
Which makes sense when you think about it. By bringing awareness to that subtle energy flow, you're essentially tuning into the very essence of vitality and life force.
It's not just about feeling a buzz in your spine. It's about tapping into a deeper source of well-being, of joy even.
That's the interesting part. It goes beyond the physical sensation. The podcast talks about how this practice can actually lead to heightened awareness, a sense of connection, almost like bridging the gap between your physical and spiritual self.
And get this. They even mention awakening dormant energy centers. Now, I admit, I'm curious about that one. What are they referring to?
That's where we get into the realm of chakras, those energy centers located along the spine, each associated with different aspects of our being.
Right, the chakras. So the podcast is suggesting this technique can influence those energy centers.
Not directly, no. The source material doesn't delve into specific chakras. The idea is more about cultivating awareness of that overall energy flow along the spine.
I see. It's about stimulating and balancing those energy centers, but in a more holistic way through the attention on the spine itself.
Precisely. And that's where those broader benefits come in. Increased vitality, emotional resilience, you name it. It's like everything gets a boost from that harmonious flow of energy.
They even shared an anecdote about how this practice led to noticeable improvement in focus and creativity. It's fascinating how those subtle shifts in energy can have such tangible effects in our daily lives.
Absolutely. And this is why I find these ancient practices so compelling. They offer us tools for self-discovery and growth, ways to navigate life's complexities with more awareness and presence.
So to wrap things up, it sounds like sensing the tingling of life force is more than just a meditation technique. It's a doorway into a deeper understanding of our energy system and its potential.
Exactly. And the invitation here is to experiment, to see how this technique resonates with you. Who knows what you might discover within that subtle tingling?
Couldn't have said it better myself. And if you do give it a try, we'd love to hear about your experiences. Until next time, happy exploring, everyone.